What's going on? My name is King Mo, and y'all are in the King's Corner. Right now, as you can see, I'm in a hotel. I'm in Perm, Russia, here for the Ural Fight Championships. I have someone fighting this weekend. Her name's Natalia Kuzentina. She's fighting a Brazilian woman. They're both former LFA champions, so this is pretty interesting. But anyways, let's go. Let's talk about why I'm here. So I'm here to discuss the Moses Itauma Dillian Whyte fight card. So the first fight that I'm seeing is Felipe Hrgović versus David Adelaide. Now, this is a good fight. Hrgović is a battle-tested heavyweight from Croatia. He trains with Abel Sanchez now. And Abel Sanchez was brought about because Felipe Hrgović has cardio issues. Now, Hrgović carries a lot of power, solid chin. He hasn't been fighting. He's kind of been very inactive as of recent. He fought Joe Joyce on short notice, and that was a good win for him, coming off the Daniel Dubois loss. And that's what I know about Filip Hrgović. Tough Croatian fighter, and he's facing a young man by the name of David Adelaide, who is a tough Nigerian based out of Britain. He has speed. He's raw. He's not as polished as Hrgović, but he has power, and that power is real. He fought TKV. I forgot the guy's name. Knocked him out. It was kind of controversial because he knocked him out while they were exiting the clinch, or they were in the clinch. I think it was a nasty left hook that he floored him with. But when these two lock horns, right now, the favorite people are leaning towards Hrgović because Hrgović is big, strong, battle-tested. He's more polished. But I'm not with that. I'm going with David Adelaide. And I think that David Adelaide is going to land something big in the mid-rounds and get the knockout. Don't get me wrong. Hrgović has shown that he has a great chin. But when you get hit that clean too much, your chin doesn't get stronger. It gets weaker. And I think that David Adelaide, he's confident. He's young. He's younger. And I think that he's riding a wave of confidence right now that could help him get the victory. And I think it will. I think that Adelaide will get the knockout in the 7th to 8th round, provided that he doesn't get hit with anything big. He has to be solid. He has to be sharp. He has to be on his P's and Q's because Hrgović can punch. Hrgović has shown he has skills, man. I watched the fight Zhang. I watched the fight Dubois. And, man, he beat Zhang. It was a close fight, but he got the W. And when he's fighting Dubois, in that fight was a back-and-forth battle. Dubois showed that he had big nuts and composure and came back to get the stoppage over Hrgović. It was an ugly fight, full of headbutts here and there, but Dubois got the victory. For this fight, I'm thinking that Adelaide will get the victory as well. So I'm favoring Adelaide, and I got Adelaide probably by 7th, 8th, or 9th round KO. The next fight is Nick Ball versus Sam Goodman. Both of these fighters are undefeated. Now, Nick Ball's the bigger man. Sam Goodman's moving up to featherweight. Nick Ball is the WBA champion at featherweight. Nick Ball he's a high volume, high octane fighter. In your face, he puts pressure on you. And I think that pressure might be too much for Sam Goodman, who's moving up to a newer weight class. He's facing the bigger guy. They're both undefeated, but I think that Nick Ball's experience and his size and his style will be too much for Sam Goodman. I think that Nick Ball will get the job done via unanimous decision, but you cannot count out a late stoppage. You just can't. With a style like his, if he can break you down and wear you down, he could quite possibly stop you in the later rounds. And for the co-main event, We have Raymond Ford versus Abraham Nova. This is a good one, y'all. Raymond Ford's a southpaw from Camden, New Jersey. He's young. He's slick. He has good defense. Man, he has a high fight IQ. He moves well. He fights very composed. Man, you can't. I have nothing bad to say about this fighter. He's an excellent, superb fighter, and he's facing Abraham Nova, the Puerto Rican based out of Albany, New York. Um, Abraham Nova's been, kind of inconsistent. He's a tough and rugged guy, but he's been inconsistent in his last 4 fights. I believe he's 1-2-1 in his last 4. And also, he's taking this fight on short notice. And I'm gonna be real with you. I would hate to fight Raymond Ford on short notice, because Raymond Ford is just the goods, man. He's slick, smooth. He has a good punch selection. He has great defense, and I think that he'll be too much for Abraham Nova. Look, y'all, Raymond Ford's movement and his slickness will be a problem for Abraham Nova. Abraham Nova is taking this fight again on short notice. Now, Abraham Nova is aggressive. He comes forward. He'll put pressure on you. But I think that will lead to his downfall, as well as a lack of preparation. I think that Raymond Ford will set traps throughout the fight. And one of those traps will catch Nova in the 8th, 9th round. And I feel like Nova will get run into or something. He'll run into a big straight left or right hook or something like that and get sat down and stopped. So I'm picking Raymond Ford to win by 8th or 9th round stoppage. He's just too much. He's too slick, too smooth, too smart, and he's well prepared for this fight. For the main event, we have Moses Itauma versus Dillian Whyte. Moses Itauma is 20 years old. He's 6'4". I think he's about 250 pounds. He's a man-child. He has a 79-inch reach. He's a southpaw. This guy is athletic. He's strong. He's powerful. He's quick. He's slick. And the only thing I can say about him is he's inexperienced as far as competition. But hey, there's stories of this guy sparring with Lawrence Okolie and Dubois and sparring with Joshua as a teenager. Originally, he was trying to beat Mike Tyson's record and becoming the youngest heavyweight champion, but that got derailed. And, he's something special. Watching him move, hearing him talk, he sounds like a grown-ass man. He carries himself like a grown-ass man. He's very mature for his age. He reminds me of a guy named Damian Hahn, who I wrestled many years ago. Damian Hahn was from New Jersey. Damian Hahn was a man-child beating college national champions as a 15 and 16-year-old. Now, when I watched them both move, Damian Hahn was smaller than Itauma, but the way they're built is kind of similar. Thick, slick. They're both built kind of thick, but they move on their feet in a slick manner. It's like they float across the mat or the canvas, and they both move very, very athletic. Damian Hahn moved athletic. This is many years ago when he used to wrestle, but I'm talking about the comparison between Damian Hahn and Moses Itauma from what I've seen. And granted, Damian Hahn was a wrestler and Moses Itauma was a boxer, but I'm just talking about the experiences from what I've seen because, I know fighting. So I can kind of compare people from different sports on how they move and how they're built in a sense. And Moses Itauma is the truth. Man, he's good. And he's facing Dillian Whyte. Now, Dillian Whyte is a Jamaican based out of England. He's 6'4". He has a 78-inch reach. He's about 37 years old, and he carries a rough and rugged style. He goes to the body real well. He's trained with Buddy McGirt. Now, Moses Itauma's coach is Ben Davidson, who's a hell of a trainer. Ben Davidson's been involved with many of the top fighters in the world. Now, even with that rough and rugged style, with the good body work, Dillian Whyte is still kind of considered past his prime. His last fight, he looked horrible versus Ebenezer Tate, but that's because he didn't train for the fight. But for this fight, I saw pictures and he looks ready. He looks lean, mean, and in shape. And he's going to need to be lean, mean, and in shape, and rugged and ugly and a dog in there. Because if he's not, he's getting knocked out. Now, for Moses Itauma, Moses just needs to be him. Moses needs to be slick, smooth, stay off the ropes, and fight when he wants to fight. Dillian Whyte, on the other hand, he has to bring the fight to Moses because Moses carries too much speed and power to sit there and wait. He has to rely on his experience, pressure Moses, make it an ugly fight, make it a Ricky Hatton style of fight. Think of Ricky Hatton versus Kostya Tszyu. It has to be ugly like that because if it's pretty, that means Dillian Whyte's getting knocked out in spectacular fashion. I don't want to count Dillian Whyte out because, he's a dog and I love watching him fight, but I'm going to have to on this one because I think he's tailor-made for Moses Itauma to look good. Moses Itauma is a lot faster. He carries a little more of a reach. I think he's a little heavier. He moves better. I think he has more ways to win than Dillian Whyte. And I'm picking Moses Itauma to win via 5th round KO. I hate to pick against Dillian Whyte because he's a dog and he's shown that he's a dog. But, I just think that Moses Itauma will catch him with a right hook or a left uppercut because Dillian Whyte tends to use the cross arm defense, which is great for blocking straight punches and hooks, but it's horrible for blocking uppercuts. All you got to do is watch his fight versus Alexander Povetkin and watch his fight versus Tyson Fury. They both stopped him with uppercuts and look for Moses Itauma to do the same.